And so, I'm reviewing all the important films of 2021. That's not my personal estimation, by the way, that's just my codified term for Oscar nominees. I'm trying to be cute, you see. It might work for some people, certainly works for me. Anyway, I'll be throwing one or two of these out every couple of days. And now, it's Belfast, the new film from director Kenny Branagh, a coming-of-age nostalgia piece starring newcomer Jude Hill, along with Katrina Balfe, Jamie Dornan, Judi Dench, and Ciarán Hinds. It's a generally well-liked movie, even as it's received some mixed reviews. But is it worth your time? Stick around and find out. I'm a little surprised or taken aback that it took Kenny Branagh this long to make this particular movie. It's the sort of pure, quaint personal narrative that many filmmakers put out relatively early in their careers, sometimes as their debut. But I suppose Branagh took a different path. He made his name as that guy who makes the accessible Shakespeare adaptations, and then he became a respected character actor, appearing in big-time blockbusters, and then he made a Marvel movie, and then started showing up as one of Christopher Nolan's repertory players, and so maybe he figured now was the time to actually make this movie. Now as opposed to then, because maybe now is when people were actually going to give a shit about his story. Because yes, this is absolutely his story. Branagh is a self-described pug Irish kid from Belfast, and so here we go, with a very sweet, naive, almost wistful nostalgia piece about what it was to be a 10-year-old kid living in a Belfast neighborhood in 1969 with his pa and his ma and his grandmother and grandfather, and yes, the Troubles. And that has been a point of contention for some people, I suppose, how ultimately, well, okay, fine, twee the movie maybe is, how ultimately small it might feel. Maybe, with a title like Belfast, they wanted a more hard-hitting, impactful movie about the Troubles, but haven't we had enough of those? Besides, the movie may be all of those slightly condescending adjectives I ascribe to it, but it isn't dishonest. Not at all. This is a truthful portrayal of a child's life and perspective in that time and place. It treats nostalgia and memory pretty truthfully, I think, because you'll often hear people of that generation tell you something like their memories are in black and white, just like the photographs. And that's basically what this movie is. It's Kenny Branagh sitting down on the living room couch in the house he grew up in and walking you through an album of family photos, like, and this was so-and-so, and that was such and such, and here's where we did this and that, and so on. So Kenny Branagh's childhood memories are in black and white, except his memories of going to the movies, because of course, those transportive moments of looking up at that huge screen and how all the big Hollywood movies were in vibrant Technicolor. So of course, that's how you remember them. And the entire movie is shot in low angles because of course it is. These are the memories of a child. This is how a child experienced life. And if the elements of the Troubles seem undercooked or underdelivered, mere exclamations or brief flashes of chaos, that's what they would be to a child who did not understand the political complexities of what was happening in his country. All he saw were the occasional scary riots around his neighborhood, and he was a Protestant, and supposedly he wasn't supposed to like the Catholics, but that pretty classmate he has a crush on is a Catholic, so he doesn't quite get that either. And that's just it. That's how memories work. It's a fog of feeling through images and sound. But when you remember being a kid, you start to think like a kid, and so of course, these are Kenny Branagh's memories. Of course his ma was Katrina Balfe. Look how beautiful she is. Of course his dad stood out whenever he walked down the street because that was his dad. So of course he looked like Jamie Dornan. Of course his dad looked like a movie star, like the cowboy heroes he saw in the movies and on TV. And all Branagh's memories are scored to the music of fellow Belfast native Van Morrison, whose vast catalog provides a soundtrack for the film, and he also wrote a new song and did the incidental score for the film. And I know he's supposedly an anti-vaxxer or an anti-masker or whatever, and I don't know, and I don't give a flying fuck about any of that. And if you're watching this video a few months or years from now and we're hopefully through with this nonsense, I apologize for that tangent. But my point is, Van Morrison is a good musician, and these are good songs. There's a lot of good music in the movie, and if you've watched the trailer, you'll know Everlasting Love is probably one of the songs in it. So, sure, let me go ahead and spoil that it is. And it's used in a climactic scene that is maybe not as emotionally resonant or impactful as the movie would like it to be. And maybe that's true of the whole movie. It's maybe not quite as emotionally resonant or impactful as it wants to be, but in any case, it is enjoyable. It's appealing in a general sense because most people can relate to the nostalgic feelings of being a child, and it will probably be even more appealing to anyone who was a child in the year 1969. Basically what I'm saying is the movie is quite appealing, and maybe that's all it really needs to be. Hey, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel and share the video. There's going to be some cool stuff coming to the channel, so you're going to want to keep track of it, and I hope you like all that stuff too. See ya.